Recording? Yeah, ai. Tēnā tātou, tuatahi rā, ka tīmata ki te krakia. Nō reira kia inoi tātou. A kia tau iho ngā tauwhiratanga me ngā raupitanga o te wāhinga roki rongi a tātou. Ko tātou anō te mātātahi e pīkoko ana ki ngā tikanga o te ao Māori. Hei ara ina tātou i roto i tō tātou nei whai. Kia whai i te ara tika, i te ara pono, i te ara haura, kia eke panuku, eke tangoru, haumi e hui e, a tā ki e. Nei te mihi atu ki a rātou ngā tini mate o tēnā, o tātou. Te hunga mate i tērā wiki, i tērā marama, i tērā tau kua pahuri. Nā nei te wahanga o te tau, ka whakarerea rātou kia haere atu ki tō tātou nei kaihanga, reira rātou e taturi mai ki a tātou te hunga ora. Nō reire ki a rātou, te hunga mate, hoia tō waka wairua, tō waka aroha. Hoia ki tō tātou nei kaihanga, hoia o te atu rā. Hoki tika anō ki a tātou te hunga ora. Me ngā tini kaupapa, ngā kaupapa huhua i taumaha mai ki runga i o mātou, i o tātou poko iwi. Nei te mihi atu ki a koutou katoa. Ko te tūmanaku ia, kua noho haumaru, kua noho ora e koutou katoa. Nei te mihi mai oha, te mihi e kau atu ki a koutou katoa mai te runanga o Ngāti Whātua, te Oranga. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, huri noa, tēnā tātou katoa. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. We just got a little bit of an update from our end, and I'll do the first part, and Anthony will provide an update from the runanga following that. So from Te Oranga, from our perspective, I'll just give an update around the actual cases. So if you've slipped through it, just to let you know that at 12 o'clock today, so in an hour and a half, Auckland will be elevated to alert level 3. And Auckland, for this consideration, goes from Wellsford down to Pukekohe. So at alert level 3, we're encouraging all our kaumātua to stay home. And so that will come into effect from 12 o'clock today. The rest of the country will remain in alert level 2. And so we will send out some information and put it online about what you can and cannot do. But for us, first of all, we're going to make sure that our staff are okay. And so we're making sure all our elder staff, our kaumātua, are set up and able to work from home. We're going to make sure our staff are all set up in Auckland, from the Auckland region, to work from home, and that our Dargaville office will continue to work at the level 2 if they can do so safely. What that means is that we're going to be providing, again, our services will be delivered remotely. There'll be no more face-to-face services, especially for our 3 Auckland offices. And we're going to have to initiate using our Zoom, our text, our phone calls, our emails to make sure we look after our whānau. Oops, my apologies. So we've done this before and we'll do it again. At this stage, it's only for 3 days. So we've got a bit of planning time that we can do before we hear an update from the government. Please don't panic. So the first phase for us will be making sure that we look after our kaumātua. And for us, the government said 65-year-olds, but we're going to look after, make sure that our whānau and our clients from 50 years old, we're going to try and start getting in touch with all of those. So we're going to use our database from Te Oranga and our database from Te Runanga o Ngāti Whātua. And as much as we can, we want to make contact with our kaumātua. Then we're going to focus on our mama with tamariki, our hapu mama with tamariki, and then the final focus will be on the rest of our whānau. My staff will be, as I said, we've done this before, if we have a need to deliver hygiene packs, we don't have a huge amount left, but those that do need them, and this is a need, making sure people need it, because if you don't need it and you ask us to deliver something, then you're taking it away from someone that potentially needs it more. We're also asking all our staff and all our whānau and communities to maintain the safe hygiene practices that we all invested in last time, which is the cough and sneeze etiquette into your te tuki o tōringa, in the middle here, this little part here, the elbow. Physical distancing, staying at least 2 meters apart from everyone. And once again, making sure we've got good hand hygiene. And you don't have to have the, the hand sanitizer to ensure good hand hygiene, you can actually just use those plain bars of soap. And I told my staff, if you've ever been to a hotel and stolen those hotel soaps, now's a good time to crack them out and use those. We're going to start trying to provide daily updates to our staff to make sure our staff are well informed and that they can keep our whānau informed with up-to-date information and anything that happens during the days. We're also going to start just making sure that we keep in touch with our marae again, so that Anthony will speak more on this. But what we really want is a heads up from our marae if they know of any of their whānau, will be returning to the marae should this go longer than the 3 days. At this stage, we're gearing up for the 3 days. But if there is a return to a longer period, we really want a heads up early so we can make sure we can look after everybody that needs looking after at those marae. And once again, emails, Facebook, social media, our databases, that we will still find people that we don't have contact details of. So if you know whānau who actually need more support, and we might be able to support them, please either give them our number, the 0800 Te Ha phone number, which we will put online down here. No, it won't be down there, I'm just kidding, but everyone else knows that, so I'm going to try and do it. We'll put the 0800 My Te Ha phone number, and or alternatively, if you can pass their details on to us, because we do know whānau a whakamā to ask for help. That's it from me. I've gone on for longer than I was supposed to have. I'm going to hand you over to Ants, and then
go from there.
That's us.
Yeah. Kia ora tātou whānau. Hey, we've all been here before. This time around, I think everyone pretty much knows what they're doing. So I've been in contact with a number of marae this morning and late last night. And just to reaffirm, every marae decides on their own plan. The Oranga and Te Oranga will support what marae plan there is. So that's number one. We're not going to direct or tell you what to do. You know what you're doing. And the majority of our marae are already placed in certain situations where they know, your whānau, how to do things and what to do. What we are going to support is the reintroduction of the hubs. So even though this is for 3 days, this current lockdown, Te Ha and the Oranga are planning for a longer lockdown, and we're also looking at other contingencies that we've already got in place. So the Oranga and Te Ha do have a health plan and an action plan. It's always been in place, and we're waiting for the right time to put it into action. The hubs are really important. You fellas already know your whānau, you know who's around your marae and who's the key people to coordinate with. My job and Boyd's job is to make sure that you've got the resources you need to get through this lockdown period, and that's what we're going to do. Just a reminder to those marae that do have the Wi-Fi capability now, by all means, Zoom or get hold of us. Those marae that do need hygiene packs, etc., by all means get hold of us. Tangihanga. I know tangihanga was a big topic during the last lockdown. The same rules do apply again. And I think this time around, if there is a tangi, touch wood, or hui mati on your marae, we will be there to support, just to let you know. So we do know of a few whānau. I think there's 3 at the moment that are either in palliative care or towards the end of life at this stage. So we are working with some whānau right now. But just to let everybody know, we are basically on tap, waiting and ready to go. I've just seen Tyrone come in. Kia ora, bro.
Kia ora, morena.
Well, I was just talking about tangihanga, and during this next 3 days, possibly could be another 2 weeks, who knows. Do you have anything else you want to add in there?
Yeah, we're just quickly, like everyone else, getting updates over it. In the Auckland space in particular, obviously we're moving to level 3 restrictions for tangihanga, which means tangihanga will be reduced to bubbles of 10. The inter-regional switch or transfer won't be able to happen unless what we're trying to work through is the exemption process.
Yep.
This morning. So for things such as tangihanga and whether that's going to be okay to go ahead with. That's the extent at the moment is what we've got. If we are experiencing some pushback with regards to Auckland Council's regulations, because it came hard and fast last night, obviously. So we have a few whānau who are really upset with the council process of switching. Yesterday they were under the impression that everything was kei te pai, and today they've been told that only groups of 10 are allowed to attend. So that's made it really difficult today, working through some of those tangihanga that have been booked in prior to this release, this recent release. So I think the best thing we can do is try and keep everyone as informed as possible. My advice is, if again, preparedness is a better place to come from. So have the conversation with your funeral home on what that might look like for you and your whānau. If your whānau member is getting to that stage, so that you and your whānau have a plan in place of what's going to happen moving forward. Yeah.
So just to confirm, level 2 is basically outside of the Auckland Super City boundary, and that's level 2 is still 100 people under level 2 to the Rimati?
Yeah, so anywhere outside of Auckland is still 100 people. The funeral homes are still required to follow hygiene protocols and those sort of things. So that's really important to convey to whānau, that they have the conversation with their funeral director around what's happening in their neck of the woods. But for Auckland, it's very different. The experience is very different and very hard and fast, and it's just to ensure that our whānau stay safe while we work through this.
Cool. Anything else to add in there, bro?
No, ka pai.
Ka pai. So, that's it, whānau. Boyd's updated you with the current situation. I'll let you know that, the marae hubs are back into force again, and we are going to support the marae through your direction. That needs to be clear. And Tyron's just explained, the tangihanga process. So this is a short update just to put on Facebook, put on our website to give you guys a bit of relief. Please don't panic, like Boyd said. We'll work through this. You've got resource and you've got support within Te Ha and within the Runanga back to whānau. So, again, it comes back to communication. We don't know what we don't know until you tell us. And then we'll work it out from there. I think we may have another online Zui tomorrow or Friday when we know more information or when more important information comes to light. And we'll let you know how that information will affect how Te Ha and the Runanga operates, and then the resourcing and the support back to you guys, our whānau. So I think that's pretty much it. Nothing else there?
I should have added, because I forgot to do it at the very start. The reason we're at level 3 and level 2 is because they found 4 cases in the community. So no longer inside the quarantine and managed isolation. So there were 4 cases in one whānau from one household. And they are now in a heavy process of doing contact tracing, so trying to find out where they've been. They're also encouraging whānau who have those flu-like symptoms, if you are worried, especially in the Auckland region, to make yourself available to get a test. There's currently 26 active cases that are known in the country. 21 of them are within managed isolation and quarantine, and it's the 22, and it's the 4 outside that are the focus and the reason why we've been elevated into level 3 from level 1. So it's, we just don't panic. We've been here before, and the safest way to keep yourself virus-free is to stay home and isolate yourself.
Aye.
Yeah. Cool.
Kia ora tātou whānau, ko tāna ki te wā, kia tuku ato tātou zui I tēnei rā. Nō kia tauterangi Māori, kia tātou katoa. Kia noi tātou. Ki te māngai ngani hirapuna, te tuku tōre tapu, kia tātou moana katoa, kia waenganui, hei tātou ringa kupu katoa. Me whakaoti ko mai o tātou matua ni te rangi. Te matua te tama, te waroa tapu. Me ngā mihi pono, me te manga ai. Kia ora tātou.
Kia ora.
Ai.